When Jonathan was president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, everybody, nearly most of the people in power today, who don't want to be criticized, who don't want to be insulted, did something worse to Jonathan. Even when Jonathan's government was a lot better than the nonsense they are currently dishing out. You think what you served Jonathan or other successive government will not be given to you? And when it is your turn to receive it, you want to form, you can bully, you lie. Let's watch this video.
Jonathan, you will not sleep well. Those who are supporting you will not sleep well. When you wake up in the morning, you will be migraine. In the evening, you will be bellyache. If you don't leave quickly, what happened to Abacha will happen to you. If you don't leave quickly, what happened to Yaradua will happen to you. The people of Nigeria say, enough is enough. Who will call and they will shout, Ole! We are one by one. Obasanjo!
Just imagine that. You can imagine what was being said to a sitting president. Will Tinubu tolerate this today? Will anybody dare do this to Tinubu today without the DSS being unleashed, without the Nigerian police being unleashed, without the APC thugs and attack dogs being unleashed? Will it happen? Telling a sitting president that what happens to Abacha, that what happens to Yaradua would happen to him. But nothing happened because Jonathan felt that was democracy. And for everybody that was involved in that protest, led by Pastor Tunde Babkare, I think the Redeem Oga, Adeboye, you were all involved in this nonsense, proudly sponsored by the today president, Jagaban. Today you want the people to keep quiet when you are doing much nonsense? No, now, what you've served others before, now you are in that seat. You'll be ready to have overdose of it. But it's really unfortunate that we no longer have the Nigerians today that are capable of serving you of this same meal. I don't know how you guys did it. I don't know how you remotely turn off the ability and mental ability of Nigerians. You now go away with everything. Telling a sitting president, no, now, the insult was too much. For what? Even when the country was not this bad. Today now, I can't see the likes of Tunde Bakare. They've gone mute, they've gone dumb and deaf. Adeboye has suddenly become a prayer warrior who can revive economy through prayer. See, it is difficult not to insult these people, but they actually deserved and merited it. Of course. Jonathan, and see, let me even send this one to Jonathan. Sir, with all due respect, you were kicked out of power for failing. Yes, now, that APC has failed more does not mean that Jonathan passed. We are only saying his time, things were not as bad as it is now. But you also agree with me that in the days of Jonathan, things got worse than it was in the time of Obasanjo and Yaradua, right? That was why we said, get out. Look at the South Side that it came from. There was no evidence that the South Side had the president. So you left. And the way you conducted that election and you considered defeat gave you some sense of integrity that you became globally recognized. And you went with that. We were hoping you were going to stay with that. How come every now and then, especially when it is an election that involves the Southerners, you are being rolled out, they've always tried to push you out to scatter the vote from the South. I think it was in 2023 when Obi was hot on the ballot. They were always like, Jonathan will come and they want to give Jonathan tickets. Jonathan want to come and run. Now, 2027 election is approaching again. I'm hearing this Jonathan nonsense again. What annoys me now, why I'm addressing this thing to former President Goodluck Jonathan, is the fact that you don't always have to be too political in things like this. Do you want to run again? The answer should be no. Can you run again and win? The answer is no. Why be too political? Why not come out and say, hey, stop dragging me into this. I'm a former president and I'm now an elder statesman. Can't you talk? This was how you laugh all through your 6 years in tenure. Things got really bad under you that people get fed up and wanted a change. That change landed us into this fire that we are still burning in now. You won't talk. They're always using you. When it was Buhari's second term, when Buhari contested second term, nobody brought Jonathan. Nobody remembered Jonathan was there. But since Obi came into the picture, they suddenly start remembering Jonathan just to be able to split the vote and whatever that will be coming from the South and the Southeast. Isn't this rubbish? And the Jonathan is just laughing, always quiet. This must not continue. Former President Goodluck Jonathan, you left office as the president with honor, with dignity. If you would destroy it yourself, That's at your own peril. We have nothing to do about it. But saying you are not seeing contesting election again, that would be a very dumb thing to even imagine. Of course, a very dumb one. So I just want to drop this here so that you guys know what Jonathan tolerated, and you APC today think you will not tolerate it. You are a joker. You are stupid. Because I can see some people on the comment section of all, they will come threatening, ranting, trying to bring. Are you okay? Are you mad? Can anybody do to Tinubu now what they did to Jonathan? Or were they of two different presidents? Were they not both commander-in-chief? Please, Nigerians, it's really unfortunate that we've gone this daft, we've gone this mute and dozer, being tossed around by some few minions. It's really unfortunate. But however, just help me share this video. I don't fail to comment your thoughts and opinion. But while you do that, don't always forget to realize that
this is the worst government